Welcome to the Therapist and the Wildcard, the show about grief, mental health, and all the messy stuff in between. One of us helps people heal for a living, and the other probably needs more therapy. Together, we keep it real, raw, and sometimes ridiculous. Welcome to the Therapist and the Wildcard. I'm Vit, a certified grief coach, psychology student, widow, and wildcard. This is Jen.
I'm the clinical social worker and therapist that balances out the wild card. And today's topic is finding your community after loss. Aw, it's a very important topic.
It is.
You needed to find your people after Chris passed. Like, you have those people that are like, okay, stop talking about him to move on, right? And then you have the people who are a little bit more understanding. So what worked for you after Chris passed? What did you do to get involved with other people, understand grief?
That's a big question.
Well, I know right away, like, you first got into counseling, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, I need some help.
Absolutely. That was like my first thing.
And that was like a month basically after he passed.
Yeah.
So within the month or 2 months, did you know the people that you could rely on versus the people that you couldn't? Or did that come a little bit later?
That came later.
Okay.
I had like Tam and Kara, but other than that, I didn't have solids. My brother was great, like the first month or two. Month.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, I didn't really have solids. I had a lot of people, if you need anything, let me know. If you need to talk. But no one does that.
Well, and nobody reaches out to you. They expect you to reach out to them, where sometimes you just needed somebody to go, hey, I'm thinking about you. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to get a coffee? Do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm not going to reach out.
Right.
Like, I know everyone has good intent when they say, if you need something, let me know. Fuck that. That's stupid.
Right.
I know you have good intent, but just do it.
Do it. Don't wait for me to ask for help.
Do it. Like,
Yeah.
tell me you want to go get coffee, or just send dinner, or
Right.
just something. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't
Assume that you're going to reach out because you're not.
most people are not going to.
Nope.
It's just
Nope.
awkward. It's weird. People don't like asking for help.
Yep.
So if you're going to do something, just do it.
Just do it. Well, and that's the thing, right? The first month, you had a lot of people. The first week, you had more people. The second week, you probably had a little less. By the third and fourth week, you had a little less. Checking in on you, there every day, supportive. And as time goes on, you still need all that support.
I think you almost need it more as time goes on, because you're so busy in the beginning.
The first couple of weeks, yep.
Yeah, that it's all sort of a blur, but as time goes on, you need it more.
You need it more.
When life starts to get back to normal.
Right.
Whatever that looks
Whatever
like. 'Cause
that
I'm
looks
still
like.
not sure.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough. Okay, so you got into counseling, individual therapy. Did you join any like online groups?
Like Facebook groups?
Yeah.
I did, like young widow groups. But I didn't like them at first.
Okay.
I think I was angry.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, because I would find these groups, you know, and they would be like, you know, my husband was sick for 6 months. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know mine was dying. You at least knew yours
You had a
was
clue.
going to die.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was just like the angry stage, you know, or people would be like, you know, I don't know how to do this. I have a kid. And I'm like, well, I don't have a kid. So,
And I can't, so.
yeah. Or people, you know, my husband died a month ago and I started seeing a new guy. And I'm like, what?
A month.
Like, did you even love the guy? Which, and a lot of those things you just do out of grief, like
Right.
the dating and things. But I didn't know that at the time. So yeah, those groups didn't really help me. I just found myself getting angry reading them.
Because you didn't understand them and they didn't understand you.
Maybe? Sure.
Well, you couldn't relate to any of them because you weren't in that position. And nobody out there said, oh, I'm a young widow who can't have kids and my husband died unexpectedly.
Right.
And those were kind of the people that you were hoping to connect with, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
People
I mean, how
understood
many
that.
people?
You're right. There's probably a small
Realistically.
percentage that would actually go onto a group that you would actually meet, you know?
Right.
Okay, so we tried the online groups. Did you go into like external support groups?
You talking about yours? Well, the one through Serenity?
No, because that didn't come up until a while ago.
No, I didn't
but
do
like
anything.
you didn't do anything. You just did individual counseling. How else did you find your people? How did you build your community of people that you could trust and rely on? And who did you have to cut? Because a lot of them didn't make the cut.
A lot of people were just people I had met after he passed, oddly enough. Because Vanna was a big part of the first year after him passing. And I met her a few days after he passed because I needed to get my nails done.
Yep.
And she ended up, the nail tech I was going to, she booked like 4 months out. And she was like an only girl salon.
Yeah.
So I needed funeral nails. As crazy as that sounds.
Right? Totally get it.
So I called Tam. I was like, hey, do you know any good salons? And she said, yeah, go here. And I just randomly, Vanna had an opening. And so I met her in September. We didn't really get close until December, January.
Yep.
So still right away, Kara was a big one the first few months.
Right.
For sure. I feel like out of anyone, she got it the most. She was also very close with Chris.
Right.
And in daily contact with me and Chris the month leading up to him dying.
Right.
So she sort of understood and got it and grieved with me in a different way,
Right.
obviously, but being that close to someone
Right.
than him just unexpectedly dying.
Well, and it's interesting that you say she kind of grieved him with you, but what about your family? What about his family? What about his best friend? Like, they kind of grieved with you, but differently.
For sure, his family. They became my people. Not that they weren't, but you know what I mean, in a different sense. They became my people almost immediately.
And they didn't shun you, right? Like, they could have just been like, Chris never came to visit us. He's dead now.
So
We're good.
one of the worries I had after him passing was, what is my relationship with his family going to look like?
Right.
Because we weren't particularly close with them because we didn't go around often. It wasn't because of them. It was because of us. And not that we had a bad relationship with them. It just wasn't super present because we didn't go to much.
Yeah. Which is why.
Why didn't we go to much? Chris didn't always feel the greatest about himself physically. And so that played a big role of him not wanting to go around. He just felt embarrassed.
Right.
Of, if he had gained weight. If we would have seen his parents, we saw them a couple times. They would come here for dinner because they're in Ohio. His mom, I know once or twice had texted him afterwards, hey, we're just a little concerned. It was never mean.
Right.
And it was purely out of love.
Right.
And he knew that, but I know it also still hurt him a little because it's an uncomfortable thing.
Thrilled with his own self-image anyway.
Right. So we would just not go. We would say we would, go to a setting or a function, and then last minute he had to work. And they all know now he was lying.
He was lying? Okay.
Because, we laugh about it now. They were like, we knew he was not working on Christmas Day. And I was like, yeah, well, I told him that.
Yep.
So, yeah, his one sister, Kanisha, in particular, we became, she was definitely a rock for me.
Yeah.
During those first few months. I think we talked every single day, just checking up on each other.
Yep.
And it was never, competition's not the right word. There was never a comparison
Okay.
with his family. Like, no, this is our son, our brother. So our grief is more or better than yours. Right. It was just, there was always just this respect that we're all grieving the same person, just
In a
different
different way. Yep.
And that I know a lot of people, struggle with their in-laws when they lose a spouse.
Yep.
Where my experience has been different. It's been great. Like,
Right.
we became so much closer. Like, Kanisha's one of my best friends. All his other sisters and I are so much closer than what we used to be.
Well, and you were spending so much more time with them too. You put in an effort to go down there and see them and be with them. And they always invited you to family events and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But that made a huge difference. They didn't just drop you.
Yeah, they continued to invite me to things, include me in all the, the sisters call me sister.
Right.
Like, after he passed, there was never like, you were just my brother's wife or my son's wife.
Right.
So, yeah, and I did. Like, I go the first, 2-3 months, I feel like I was in Ohio most weekends.
Right.
Yeah, I would feel like when he was alive, Brooklyn knew who we were because she was older, but the other kids didn't necessarily know
who Uncle Chris
we
was.
were.
Yeah.
Where, now, like, they could all pick me out in a room, I'm sure. Where before that wouldn't be the case. Like, Brooklyn, my 10-year-old niece, that's my little homie. That's my girl.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
Like, I love that kid. Like, she's 10, but she's not 10. Like, we can kick it. Like, when we vacation together, that's my homie.
Yep.
I'm like, Brooklyn, what are we doing today? Like, what are we getting into?
Yep.
So
you found your people with his family.
Yes. His
immediate family.
Yeah. But even like some of his aunts and cousins.
Okay.
Have become. So his family is just some of the most loving people I have ever met.
Yeah.
Because there's still people that I'm meeting for the first time. Like, lately.
Right.
And you would never know.
Yeah.
They're just like hugging me and they're like, I'm your auntie this, or I'm so-and-so, or the cousins are like, what up, cuz? And they're just all accepting. And like, even after Chris being gone, none of them are like, oh, that's like his wife. They're like, no, like you are family.
Yep.
And his aunts and a couple of his cousins will still regularly like reach out and check up on me.
Nice.
For sure. And then even a couple months after he passed, I went and visited his friend in Chicago.
Yep.
His friend and his fiance. Let's throw that out there because there could be speculation.
Yep.
And Gary had always tried to get Chris and I to come visit. He tried to get Chris to visit before I was even around. And my husband was great with excuses.
Anything.
He was the pro.
Yep.
And so he had never went. And his weight also held him back a little bit from that because, he was like, Gary will clock my shit if he sees like how big I got or like he'll call me out.
Yep.
Out of love.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I had visited Gary and I mean we still keep in touch.
Yeah.
We'll still text. We send a lot of like reels and memes to each other still.
Yep.
He sent me one the other day. He's like, I used to tell Chris this shit. It was about like scamming DoorDash.
Sounds appropriate. Okay.
So yeah, a lot of Chris's people, for lack of better words, became
your people.
My people.
Okay.
For sure. Like, I don't know what I would do or what I would have done without his family.
Right. Right.
Like
if they hadn't stayed connected and welcomed you in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even his dad, like, still financially helping me when the whole car situation happened, because the car was registered under Chris and it needed to be under me, but we had to pay it off, and
Right.
I didn't have money to just
Pay it off.
And so yeah, like, they just always still accepted me, invited me, wanted me around. I vacationed with his family multiple times.
Yep.
Planning more. So, yeah.
Yeah. So who were the type of people, and I'm not looking for names or relationships, but who were the type of people that you needed to, like, not talk about Chris around, or kind of shorten some conversations with them because they weren't very understanding? Some friends, some family, like...
Friends and family. And then still to this day, I try to tell myself that everyone grieves differently.
Which is true.
So it's hard. Like, I'm very comfortable talking about death and just the normalcy around it. A lot of people are not comfortable with it, which is crazy because it's such an active thing in life.
Yep.
Like, everyone dies. We don't love when they die at 33, obviously.
Right.
But death is a part of life.
Well, and grief in general is. I mean, we talked before about, the loss of expectations, or, illnesses and that kind of stuff that causes grief too. But you're right. Some people aren't comfortable talking about this or having those conversations or seeing people that they love hurting like that. Well, if you would just stop thinking about him, if you would just stop talking about him, you would feel better.
Yeah. Like,
I wouldn't.
I was told by, someone, like, hey, if you stop talking about your husband less, and if you, try to forget about him, you'll be less depressed.
Right.
Well, my friend, that's not how it works.
Nope.
Especially for me. I enjoy talking about him. Like, I like talking about him and having other people talk about him and bring up memories. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of grievers agree with that.
Yeah. It's important.
I haven't met a griever who is like, oh no, I don't really want to talk about them. Like, yeah, some of the conversations may be hard or emotional.
Right.
But when it comes to talking about the person they lost and, like, memories, everyone enjoys talking about their person.
Their person. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. So early on, you were able to connect with his family.
Yep.
You kind of eliminated or didn't talk about Chris around certain people that weren't very supportive of the grief process.
I held back a little bit.
Right. Okay. And then moving into the new year, did that change for you after getting through the holidays and some of that other stuff? You were connected to more friends. You were going out a little bit more frequently. Like, how was that? Like, as in, like, building your community or finding your people?
I mean, it was good. Like, I felt like I had a solid group. Yeah. Of, if I needed to cry or talk, I could go to them and not feel judged. Like, they welcomed it in a way. Like, no, like, it's okay to be real and raw, like, as opposed to, oh shit, like, this is too fucking much.
Right.
And I get it's a lot for some people. And I can understand that.
Yep.
But I needed people who it wasn't too much for.
Right. And you learned, like, who you could go to, who you could cry with, who you could have those conversations with, as you started continuing the grief process. Well, and all of this, too, led you to kind of doing what you're doing now with the grief coach certification, right? And running a grief support group. How has that been for you?
It's been good. It's interesting because it does bring some emotion out, which I didn't expect it to. I don't know why I didn't expect it to.
Okay, but in all fairness, when you started doing the grief support group, a lot of shit happened in your life that was causing more grief than just losing Chris.
This is true.
So that was kind of unexpected and a part of the whole dynamic.
Yes, but I love the community of the grief group.
Yeah.
Because even though, we've all lost different people, whether it just be, aunts, uncles, husbands, wives, and some haven't even lost a person. Like, they just have health conditions and life looks a little bit different.
Right.
But it's a place where everyone can talk and have a general understanding of grief.
Right.
And not, feel crazy to talk. Like, we're there to talk about grief.
Right. Yeah, there's no judgment. Like,
Right.
everybody there has experienced grief in their own way. And it's easy to relate to people when they've felt that deep, disheartening
Right.
loss.
Yeah. And, some groups are a little bit heavier and emotional.
Right.
But I don't think there, hasn't been a group that we, haven't laughed or, made jokks. And, some of us have dark humor.
This is true.
Not me at all.
Vit, you do not.
But so yeah, like, and when grief and loss becomes your reality, you have no option but to deal with it.
Right.
Literally head on.
Well, and I feel like this is why it's important to find your people, build your community, because not every day is going to be a good day. Not every day is going to be easy. And when you have a bad day, you got to know who you can call. And you have to be comfortable enough to call that person or say, hey, I could really use to hang out with somebody right now. I can't go home tonight, right? Like, and you've got to build that up.
That's actually how Vanna and I sort of started.
Right.
It was Christmas Eve and the first Christmas Eve without Chris.
Right.
Can we take a break? Can I just move?
Yeah.
Break time.
Okay, we're going to talk about how Vanna and I met.
Okay.
Why are we the way that we are?
Because we know how to have a good time. We're fun. Crazy, but
We're
fun.
idiots. I love it. Okay, so that's kind of how Vanna and I started off. It was Christmas Eve. It was not a good day. It was my first Christmas without Chris.
I recall.
Christmas, Chris.
First Christmas.
And my nail salon never has openings. Like, you have to book in advance. Well, my guy Harvey had an opening for a pedicure. I was like, you know what? It's Christmas Eve. Nothing's happening today. I have no plans.
Do my thing.
I'm going to go get a pedicure. Poor Harvey. Shout out Harvey. Love him. I cried the whole pedicure.
Okay.
And now at this point, I had already known Vanna. And we would, like, text here and there, back and forth. But, like, I don't know if we were, like, super close at that point. We had never gone outside of the salon.
Right. Okay.
So Harvey's doing my pedicure, and I'm like, sorry, my husband died, first holiday. Poor guy, I didn't know what the fuck. What do you say to that? You got this girl crying in your pedi chair, and
You're just like, okay.
poor guy. So Vanna was there, finished up with one of her clients, and, like, came over and talked to me for a little bit. And, Vanna likes to play hard to fucking get. So I'm like, do you want to go out to eat? No, I don't hang out with people.
Okay.
So I asked her like 3-4 times, denies them all. And we, like, both leave, and I was just fucking wrecked when I left.
Yep.
And I think all I texted her was, I'm a fucking mess. And it wasn't with any intention to go out or,
Right.
like, I was just texting her as a friend, like, I'm a fucking mess.
Right.
And she was like, okay, let's go eat. So we had agreed on a restaurant, and we sat there and talked for, it was 5 hours.
Oh my God. Yep.
And, like, we didn't skip it was what I needed.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
we just talked, she shared some of her stuff because she's dealt with a lot of loss.
Yep.
I shared some of mine, and just, like, I remember Tam was texting me because it was Christmas Eve. She's like, come over for Christmas Eve. And I needed to be around somebody, but not a group of people. A
Yeah.
group was just too overwhelming.
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of how Vanna and I started, was literally Christmas Eve, 5 hours out to dinner.
Yep. And she became one of your closest friends where you could talk to and be open about and not feel judged by
Yeah.
just crying on the phone with her.
Nothing made her flinch.
Yeah.
Like, no crazy thoughts, no detail, like, nothing made her flinch.
Yeah.
So, like, I never felt like I was too much or like I was crazy or,
Right.
you know, that my grief wasn't welcome or like my
Right.
bad days were not too much for her.
They weren't a burden and
Yeah. She was like, no, fucking feel that shit. Like, it's okay.
Right.
So, yeah, she was definitely a big one for sure.
Yep.
And even her sister for quite a while.
That's true.
Yeah. And we don't talk much now, but I know that if I was to call Lauren, like, she wouldn't hesitate to pick up the phone,
Right.
talk to me. Like, it's just one of those type of friendships where you don't have to talk all the time or,
Yep.
but I know if I was to need her, she'd be there. Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's good. You needed to build your people, and a lot of people you met along the way after Chris passed. You know, and that's where even more friendships developed. And it's not necessarily by going to grief groups or anything like that. It was
No.
just doing your daily life kind of thing. You reconnected with Dana and Ella, correct?
so Dana and Ella were always around.
Okay.
But I did reconnect with some friends from high school. Like, literally hadn't seen them in almost 20 years because I graduated in 2006.
Yep.
Yeah, I had actually reached out to one of them because she was a therapist as well. And that's when I was looking into going into school.
Yep.
So I think I had like messaged her on Facebook and she's like, you know what? You want to just like go grab dinner and drinks? And so we did. And then from there, we like invited another friend out from high school to join us.
Yep.
So yeah, reconnected with some high school friends. You know, my last girl, Ange.
Shout out to Ange.
Love me some Ange. Like,
Yep.
that's my girl. Yeah, and then we can't forget about you, of course.
Aw, thanks, Fit.
I don't know what the fuck I would do had I not met you.
I appreciate that.
Like,
Well, we wouldn't be here.
that part. But I don't know where the fuck I would be had I not met you.
Well, I'm glad we met, though. Because here you are, and like I said before, you're taking your pain and turning it into a purpose. And you're able to relate to people on a different level, which sets you apart as you continue with your psychology degree and your master's. Like, you may end up specializing in grief and running more grief support groups because you have a deeper understanding of what people are dealing with.
Yeah. And I know grief has like this stigma around it that it's just depressing and heavy. And it is, but it doesn't always have to be.
Right.
Like, it's literally a part of life. Everyone at some point, whether they recognize it or not, has experienced grief, whether it's they lost a job or just something happened. It doesn't even have to be a physical person that they lost.
Right.
But yet, still, it's uncomfortable to talk about for so many people when it's such an everyday part of life.
Yep.
So it's interesting when, you know, I am doing the grief group. So many of them say the same thing, like, I don't have anyone to talk to. Nobody gets it.
Right.
They all say the wrong things and
Yep.
it's just uncomfortable. People don't know what to say.
People don't know what to say.
They don't.
They're uncomfortable.
Yeah, yes.
So you know how there's people that can't watch other people cry? And you're like, those people have no idea what the fuck to say at all. They're just like, okay.
Yeah.
So they panic. They don't say anything. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm so glad I'm talking to you. Like, It's a vicious cycle.
But yeah, so like they all say the same things. So
Right.
it's just interesting. And I'm sure I was one of those people who didn't know what the fuck to say before I experienced grief this close.
Right.
So it's interesting because it's such a big part of life, but yet when it's so close, it kind of hits a little bit differently.
Right.
And you have no choice but to be so open about it and comfortable.
Right.
Because what are you going to do?
Exactly. Well, and I think that too is the importance of developing your community, your people. You know, you didn't necessarily find it through a support group, which is fine, you know, but even when I run like the addiction groups, there's so many different addiction groups out there. Some are like faith-based, not faith-based. Like, you know, it doesn't matter what label is on the group or what it's called. You just got to find your people. And some of them might be from a Christian-based community support group for grief, right? I know a lot of funeral homes have those. Some people do really well with that stuff. Other people just want a safe place to talk and connect with other people. And maybe that's where your grief support group comes in, right? There is no faith-based behind it. It's we're real people. We get it.
Right.
Come chat with us. Right?
I mean, even when you didn't run it, but what's her name? Well, the other therapist ran it. The art grief.
Oh, yep, Jen. The other Jen.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like, met, you know, someone in that group. And then even the group that I did that wasn't about grief, like, met people in there as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just find your people.
And something that I think makes you stand out maybe from other people is when you and I first met, you were like, I'm never leaving my house, basically. I'm going to live here forever and just die here. I can't talk to other people. I have no friends. But you took it upon yourself to get out there and do different things. And I know that I kind of pushed you to one of the groups, you know, but you met some good friends through that group, right?
I forgot about that.
Right?
And I was like, absolutely fucking not.
And I was like, I think I was like, one time, just go, try it.
And because I loved and respected you so much.
Right? And then, well, and that's when you were debating your degree, right? And I was like, it would be a good experience for you, like, be curious about it. But you accepted at a certain point, not early on, at a certain point that you can't just stay at home and do nothing. Like, you needed to go out and live your life, as difficult as that was without Chris, because you had something in mind that you and Chris were going to have this life, right? And it's not what you planned,
right?
You know, but you put yourself out there. You tried, you connected, and you had people who encouraged you and supported you. And I think that was a big thing. There's people out there that don't have anybody, that are just hermits, I'm sure, at home, who aren't willing to put themselves out there to try and meet other people in those positions.
And I can't even imagine that. Like, that has to be so hard. Like, I know I say I appreciate you, but like the level of depth of appreciation, I don't even know if there's a word for it, but
fair enough.
You know.
But the difference is too, you put in the effort. You respected what I had to say, that was like, don't keep freaking staying at home. Get out of the house. Because you were just like, I'm just going to go home. I'm like, okay, why don't you see if Vanna wants to do something? Like, why don't you call Tam? Like,
and then it was
and then you're never home.
Opposite. You were like, you got to go home. And I'm like, make up your mind.
Why am I so overwhelmed? I'm like, because you're never home. Like, you were go every night until 10, 11 at night.
I really was. And I don't know how I functioned.
I don't know how you did it.
Because last night, I was in bed before 8 p.m.
It was freaking awesome, wasn't it?
Bonnet on, contacts
living the best
out,
life.
chilling. And I was like, oh my God, this is gold.
This is gold, right? And that's the thing. You got to find your balance. It's okay to be at home for a weekend and be like, I need some downtime.
Yeah.
You know, last week you took some time off because you're like, I'm overwhelmed. I
needed it.
I need some time at home, you know, by myself to do some stuff. And that's fine too. It's when you start isolating and you're not getting anything done or talking to anybody, that's more of a concern.
Yeah, there's a lot of balance involved with grief because it can go from one extreme to the other, which I'm sure is a whole another episode about avoidance and different things. But everything changes. Yeah. Everything in your life changes, including your chemical imbalances in your brain. And the person I was before Chris died, I don't even know if they would be recognizable now.
Total opposites.
Because even when I explain what I used to be like, my friends now who didn't know me before
Like, no.
were like, no way. Like,
That
I can't
wasn't
even
you.
picture that. And it's interesting because Marilyn obviously knew me before and after.
Right.
It's interesting because we're not close, but we're not like, we don't talk every day and
Right.
stuff. She almost every weekend will say something like, not in a bad way, but like,
Right.
dang, who is this bit?
Well, and that's the thing. I think people without saying the word proud are proud of you for continuing on with life, right? Maybe they thought that you were going to be the one that hit at home every single day too and didn't give you
to be
credit.
for a minute.
No doubt. But you had that moment and you're like, this is not what I want for the rest of my life. You know?
For sure.
And that's the thing. And the bottom line is people need to go out and find their people wherever they need to go. You know, it can
And
be family.
accept them.
Accept them.
Because
I
it
like
was
that.
hard for me to accept that these were my people now.
Right.
Because I had an expectation of what my people and who my people were, but it didn't play out like that.
Right.
I had new people,
Yep.
and I had to accept that.
Right.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
So the bottom line is put yourself out there. Try some groups. Go to therapy. Talk to friends. Find your people. Any last words of wisdom?
Get a good therapist. They change lives.
There you go. Thanks for joining us.
That's a wrap for the Therapist and the Wildcard. One of us brings the therapy, and the other brings the chaos. Together, we'll be back with more laughter, healing, and everything in between.